Okay, so I've been posting for a while about kind of seems like oriented towards let's be more thoughtful about what we're doing and take the time to do the self-care and um, be mindful, be thoughtful, etc. And I want to tie it all together in this video. Um, Humans gather together to create subgroups. And subgroups make groups, groups make supergroups, supergroups make mega supergroups, right? Etc. Um, the point being is all of these structures break down to the individual, okay? So whatever issues that we see in these superstructures are a manifestation of the problems that we personally experience, the trauma, the negative narratives that we conduct in our minds, and the reticence, the fear, the uncertainty, the doubt, the anger, shame, whatever it is, right? This is all manifestations into these greater structures. And if we are able to be precise and clarify how it is that we can relinquish ourselves from these traumas that we carry with us and these narratives, then we can start to be highly effective at finding solutions, right? So what I'm proposing is that we know that, for example, getting 8 hours of sleep is better than getting 2 hours of sleep at night. And there's certain kinds of diets that are clearly better than eating 15 Snicker bars a day, for example, right? So there's these parameters. Not everyone is going to fit exactly into them. That being said, there's a definite guideline for the base of these practices. And as you immerse yourself in them more and more, your life, when you look back each day or each week or each month, each year, right? You're able to say, that is exactly what I wanted to be doing with my life, right? That I feel very fulfilled and whole and self-actualized when I participate in these activities, and I don't have any regret about it because that's just good for me, right? That I feel good about that. That's time well spent. And the one thing that we are missing in this society, as I see it, is this culture of reflection and mindfulness. It's never, ever been a priority in our education system. Some families, very, very rarely, put a high priority on the practice of being mindful. And what I want to talk about in detail is the practice of it and the implications of it. So the implications, no, we'll start with the practice. When you focus, right, when you sit down and you focus on your breath, right, that breathing, right, cold air coming in and warm air coming out. And you just focus on just that, right? After a couple seconds, a few seconds, a thought will come into your head. What am I going to have for lunch today? Or I wonder what the weather is like outside, right? So in this practice, that thought comes into your head, right? And your job is to recognize it. It's like a tripwire. Boom. You're like, oh, I see the thought, right? There it is, right? I wonder what the weather is like today. And you actively, right? You consciously take that thought, set it down, right? And come right back down to your breath. Hold the air in, warm air out, right? Stay focused on that for as long as you can until that next thought comes up, okay? I wonder if I fed the dog. Did I set an alarm? Okay, whatever the thought is, okay? Again, tripwire, okay? See the thought? You have it right there in your hand. You now recognize it, right? Set it aside. Come right back down to your breath, okay? So the whole goal of this is when you are in your day-to-day experiences, sometimes these emotions come up, they arise. I don't like that person, or I don't agree with them, or I feel shy in this situation, or I don't know what to do. A litany of just narratives that your mind builds for you. The whole goal is to hit that tripwire and go, wait, why do I feel like this, right? There it is in your hand. You're like, I don't like this person. You're like, well, what is that useful for? Like, I can sit here and like be reticent of the person for as long as I want. But what does that do? Okay. Am I trying to be effective? And if so, what is it that I want to achieve when I'm interacting with others? Do I want to be just consumed by not liking them the entire time, and as a result, not listening to a word that they're saying, being immersed in how much reticence you have for them, right? Or give it another example of, I'm afraid of what they'll think of me, right? It's like, what does it actually achieve to be afraid of what people think of you, right? Are you achieving anything? Are you being effective at your goal? What is your goal? Okay. And the second you can take that thought and just set it aside because it's not useful for anything, and come back to, what is it that I'm actually trying to achieve right now? Okay. What's my goal? Okay. And how do I become effective at achieving that goal? Okay. So I want to create a culture where we incentivize this. Are you being mindful each moment? How attuned is that tripwire so that you are able to recognize these thoughts, okay? And then actively be the conscious author of setting it down and looking at, what is it that I'm actually trying to achieve now, okay? And as we build a culture that has a greater and greater narrative around this concept, okay, people will recognize that our globe, our world as a system, right? Any amount of resistance between parties, okay, is just energy squandered, flushed down the toilet, okay? Any amount of utilizing your energy to resist other people, and the vice versa of them utilizing their energy, their time, their effort, their energy, their resources to defeat you, right? Or to subjugate you, right? It doesn't make any sense, okay? What sort of world are we trying to cultivate, okay? A world where we dominate one another, or a world where we coexist, okay? And it sounds kind of woo-woo, right? Like world peace, or can't we all just get along? Well, the answer is yes, we can get closer and closer to that. A protopia, right? where we become more and more aware of what it is we're thinking and why we are thinking that thing. Okay. So I want to advocate for us to create a culture around it, right? Social norms, incentive structures, and I need help. Okay. That's the thing about all of this is I need your help. Okay. There's that classic drawing of the person up on the podium with the crowd in front of him, and the person goes, "Who wants change?" Okay. Everyone's like, yeah. Okay. And then the next little section is, "Who wants to change?" Nobody wants to do the change, right? And it's like somebody, you have to recognize that you have to be the change. Okay. And it takes you to start practicing this thing, actually immersing yourself in the practice of it to get the change. Okay. And if you, I know there's going to be a lot of questions about this, reach out to me. Okay. Do not hesitate about what are you talking about, Gavin? Or I just don't get it. Or Gavin, you're full of shit. I don't even mind that because I honestly, I can navigate that. Okay. And I want your feedback and I want to hone in on this message so that it becomes more and more clear what it is that I'm actually trying to communicate so that I can be more effective. Okay. How can I advocate for all of us to start participating in better and better behaviors that we know to be good for ourselves? Okay. And creating more and more incentive structures for us to not have to wake up in the morning and say, I'm all alone on this process, right? Recreate the wheel, so to speak. We are trying to automate our best decision making, right? We go through this process and we're like, yeah, it makes sense, right? I want to be the author of my decisions. I don't want to just be floating down the stream of whatever whimsical emotion comes upon me, right? And it's like, exactly, right? And we need to create a world where it's easier and easier to participate in that behavior day after day, okay? And immerse yourself in that and be in that culture where people put a higher and higher priority on, are you taking the time to take care of yourself? Because the implications go all the way up, okay? They manifest in the society that we see. And it's, yeah. So this is it. This is the beginning, right? Reach out to me and let's talk about it, okay? I need your help to do this. And if you care enough to, I mean, not to be like finger wagging, like if you care enough, it's just if you're curious, like if any of this makes any sense at all to you, talk to me, okay? This is a steady progress, and yeah, just one step at a time. So let's do it. I have love for everyone, and yeah, let's work together, collaborate creatively. Okay, take care.